Hey, what's up? I'm Coach Ryan Family today. I'm out here in the VIPAR pit and I want to have an honest, frank discussion with you about my main issue with using steady state cardio as a primary means of progression for fat loss. So before I dig into the whys, there's two things I want to get out of the way. First and foremost, your nutrition is the centerpiece to you losing body fat. If your nutrition is in check and you make progressive changes as you go, you don't even actually need to exercise. That's right, you can lose significant amounts of body fat with just your diet alone. Adding exercise to that is compounding in nature. It adds to it, okay? It adds to the effect and you'll get a more dramatic fat loss effect. Adding progressive exercise, which is what I'm gonna talk about in a minute, as an exponential compounding effect, okay? So that's the first thing. You don't actually need cardio, you don't need weight training, you don't need interval training to lose body fat. Nutrition first and foremost. The second point I'm going to make is that steady state cardio is absolutely positively good for your health. I'm not crapping on it saying it doesn't have benefits. It's great for blood pressure, blood sugar management, triglycerides, mood, energy, tons of benefits, okay? So I'm not talking about it from a health standpoint either. I think there's a lot of benefits and I like to include it for most clients. Here's my issue with it though, as a progressive means for losing body fat. With other methods of training, weight training and interval training primarily, you have multiple ways you can increase your progress. So in order to make a change to your body, you have to give your body a different stimulus every time you repeat a workout, a new stimulus, a progressive stimulus, so that you keep adapting and you keep making progress. That's how you get fast results when paired with a good diet. So in weight training, for example, a simple example, if you lift 100 pounds for 10 reps this week, when you rest and recover, you should be able to lift 105 pounds for 10 reps next week. And then add a little more weight the week after that, and that is progressive in nature. That will force your body to change faster than if you didn't have progressive exercise. So with weight training, you can add weight, you can add exercises, you can decrease rest intervals. You've got a lot of progression options. With interval training, let's say you're doing 400-meter sprints, and you run 400 meters in 70 seconds, let's say. Well, the next time you go out, you could run it in 68 seconds. And the time after that, maybe 67 seconds. And that is going to provide a new fat loss metabolism boosting benefit to your body. You could also add another repetition. So say you start with 3 rounds of 400 meters. You could add a 4th round of 400 meters. You can add repetitions. You can play with the rest interval. You can decrease the rest interval to get more work density. You can increase the rest interval to make your output greater on each rep, which is going to have a big impact on your metabolism and that compounding exponential effect on your rate of fat loss. Here's the issue with steady state cardio. Your only progression model is longer duration, and we all have a limited amount of time to train. Okay? Most of us do not have the luxury of training multiple times per day for potentially multiple hours per day. So the issue with steady state cardio, if you start your fat loss plan and steady state is your primary means of progression, and you do 3 workouts at 20 minutes each, after a couple weeks, those 3 workouts at 20 minutes you're going to adapt to it. You're going to become more efficient at that, and you're actually going to use less calories for that same 3 rounds of 20 minutes. So then you can go 3 rounds of 25 minutes, and then 30, and eventually it just gets to a point where you don't have any more time in your day to add more cardio. So what do you do then if you've worked up over the course of your cycle to, let's say, 6 sessions a week at 75 minutes a session? What do you do then when you still have 15 pounds of body fat left to lose? All right, doesn't mean you can't lose it with that, because again, nutrition is the most important factor. But if you want that compounding exponential effect, you're gonna have to do even more steady state cardio than 6 rounds of 75 minutes. Okay, so hopefully you see what I'm getting at there. This applies to a lot of group exercise settings, metabolic conditioning. If you are maintaining a constant effort the entire duration, you will adapt to that. That is steady state cardio, no matter how hard or challenging it is, no matter how high your heart rate gets. Okay, if you're maintaining a steady pace and you're not stopping moving during that time, that's steady cardio. So a lot of people will do these group exercise classes thinking that they're weight training, and it is. And weight training a lot of times is cardio. It's cardio in disguise. People say it's a weight training class or it's a HIIT class, but when you watch, it's constant continuous movement with no rest, no rest, no rest. So it's actually just steady state cardio. Okay, so think about that as you're developing your program. In my opinion, obviously your nutrition needs to be dialed in. Weight training is the next thing you need to get dialed in because it's going to have the most dramatic impact on how you look once the body fat is gone and how you perform, and it's good for your joints and bones, and I'm not even going to get into all that. The next tier would be, if you have room for it, if you have enough energy left after your weight training, to incorporate some high intensity interval training, maybe 1 to 2 times a week, and I'm talking all out max effort. And then at that point, if you still need something else, you can start adding in a little more steady state. Now, when I'm talking about steady state cardio, I'm not technically including things outside of the gym. So if you like to take walks every day, continue to do that. Okay, most people, if their nutrition's good and they're training with weights, they don't even need to do interval training or formal steady state cardio. They can just lift weights, eat well, and do some nice gentle walks throughout the week. Run with their dog, play t-ball with their kids, just generally moving. Okay, it's not necessary to add in formal, hard, steady state sessions. Okay, but if you do use them, know they're a tool in the toolbox, and your only means to progress them is duration. So if you're going to use them, I like to save them more towards the end of the fat loss cycle when you're trying to squeeze out that last little bit left, then put them in and start to gradually work up in duration. Okay, but remember, wherever you start, you will eventually adapt to that. So start small, okay, and build up from there. Hopefully that helps you understand the cardio conundrum. I'm Coach Ryan Finley from the VIPAR Pit. If you like this video, please hit subscribe below. I'll catch you next time.